It's always great working with DK Global. They're available, they're knowledgeable, extremely talented. They're willing to put in the extra work. They really put out a great product. My name is Matthew Stumpf. I'm a trial lawyer. I represent catastrophically injured people. I work at Panish, Shea, and Boyle. We are a plaintiff's trial firm in Los Angeles, California. I got contacted by another attorney who had the case and had signed Ms. Watkins as a client. We immediately proceeded and got a litigation going because it was a major impact. She had a tough case. Ms. Watkins was in a serious rear-end collision. She had sustained a traumatic brain injury in the crash. Her brain bleed, which she did have, resolved within a day. She was discharged to go home. She went back to the emergency room at one point within a few days of the crash, complaining of a headache and difficulty reading. And the emergency room kept her for a few hours, said, "Hey, you have a concussion," and sent her home. And what was challenging for her claim is that her brain injury and her head injury were viewed only as a concussion initially, but she was still having ongoing problems. So by the time that my firm and myself started working on the case, about 3 to 4 months after the collision, she's still having sensitivity to light issues, memory problems, fatigue problems, difficulty tracking in conversations, all of which are classic post-concussive syndrome sequelae. But we thought that her injury was much deeper than that. We knew that she had a brain bleed, and we wanted to investigate that. And sure enough, there was evidence there, and that became a big point of contention in the case. The defendants in the case, Los Angeles County Metro, contended that yes, we're liable. This was a rear-end collision. It's our fault. But your client had a mild traumatic brain injury, or what's also, synonymous with a concussion. It's not that bad. Ms. Watkins was out of work for approximately 1 year. She ended up going back on part-time initially, and then eventually full-time. She's doing well, and she's gotten 2 pay raises. And we're contending that she still has problems, because she really did. And so in fighting for her and in getting her justice, our mission was to document and communicate exactly what her problems were and why they still existed, despite all of these good things that were happening in her life. For a strategy in a case like this, and the challenge was going to be a tug of war about how severe her injuries were. And to win that tug of war, you got to engage in a multi-step process. And then understanding the story as to how the initial brain injury can cause and lead to all these symptoms and problems that your client's experiencing. We used DK Global to do that. We wanted to create a graphic that easily communicated that, like an illustrated page in the story. So the case resolved following a mediation, resolved for $6 million. Did a lot of the typical pre-trial work to lead up for the mediation. We worked with DK Global to get those slides and the images and the graphics done, and it provided a compelling story, not just what the immediate emergent medical records show. It's how is it affecting your client's life. It really is kind of like CSI in a sense, where you're investigating and you want to be able to explain to the jury why these problems are caused by the traumatic brain injury that this person sustained.